When you reach depths of only a few thousand feet underwater, you will encounter an unusual phenomenon.
Well, that looks like the gill arches. The gill.
Some kind of...
What is it?
Whoa.
Wow.
It just got so big.
The creatures that once seemed familiar start to change. Their bodies stretch in impossible ways. Their eyes balloon to grotesque proportions or vanish entirely. Some turn completely transparent like living glass. Others develop appendages that seem to sprout from the wrong places entirely. It's as if evolution took a dark turn down here, experimenting with forms that shouldn't exist. Yet out of all the critters hit by this shift, a couple seem way more unsettling, showing how wild the deep really is. Meet the Magnapinna squid, along with the Barreleye fish. These ain't merely odd beasts. They're like peeks into another planet, hiding under our feet. So why does the ocean seem to get creepier the deeper you dive? And what makes these two creatures so uniquely disturbing? To understand, we need to start at the surface and work our way down. At the surface, the ocean is exactly what you'd expect. Bright blue waters, full of movement. Light slips into the ocean, nourishing tiny plankton, which become meals for small fish. And those then feed bigger creatures. This is called the Sunlit Zone, which reaches roughly 200 meters deep. We're moving into the Twilight Zone, dropping down toward 1,000 meters deep. Light starts fading here, turning weak and hazy. Plants? They can't make it. Photosynthesis doesn't work anymore because there's just too little sun. Food comes from marine snow instead, bits of poop and dead stuff floating down from higher up. This is when changes start happening. Many creatures here turn transparent. The glass squid drifts through the water with barely visible organs, almost like a ghost. The glass octopus is so clear that only its eyes give it away. Why transparency? Probably camouflage. In the faint light, being invisible means survival. Others go the opposite direction. Instead of hiding, they glow. Bioluminescence helps them hunt, attract mates, or blend right out. Firefly squid have glowing bits on their underside, copying the soft sky glow up above so they can't be seen. Pretending to be light lets them disappear within it. But these are still just the opening acts. The real strangeness is yet to come. Past 1,000 meters, all sunlight disappears completely. We've reached the midnight zone, extending down to 4,000 meters. Here there is no dawn, no dusk, only endless, absolute darkness. Temperatures hover just above freezing. The pressure is crushing, hundreds of times greater than at the surface. To us, this seems like a place where nothing should survive. And yet, this is where evolution becomes most creative, most disturbing. One of these creatures, the dragonfish, produces red bioluminescence, a color most deep-sea creatures can't even see. It's like having a private searchlight, illuminating prey without giving yourself away. The dragonfish has essentially invented a secret wavelength visible only to itself. Others have evolved ultra-black skin, so efficient at absorbing light that it reflects less than 0.5% of what touches it. Even when a submarine's spotlight hits them directly, they almost vanish. And then there are the anglerfish. The female dangles a glowing lure in front of her mouth, drawing in prey. But the males, they're born tiny and helpless, with one purpose only: to find a female. When they do, they latch on with their jaws and fuse their bodies into hers. Their organs wither away until they're nothing but a parasitic sac of sperm, permanently attached and nourished by her blood. It's one of the most extreme forms of reproduction in nature. But even these horrors pale in comparison to what we find deeper still. At 4,000 meters, we touch the abyssal plains. This is one of the largest habitats on Earth, covering more than half the planet's surface, and yet it's also one of the least understood. There are no landmarks here, no reefs, no forests, just an endless desert of mud stretching thousands of kilometers in every direction. Food is almost non-existent. Survival demands strategies unlike anywhere else. Many animals here grow enormous. Giant isopods the size of puppies scuttle across the sediment. Some amphipods are usually small, yet they may stretch past your palm. Down here swims the giant squid, one of Earth's biggest soft-bodied creatures. Why do sea creatures get so huge? Nobody's sure. One idea says it saves energy, another claims it helps them stay safe. The fact is, no one really gets it. A whale falling here turns into a hotspot. Hours later, hungry eaters show up: sharks, slimy eels, tiny crustaceans. After them, weirder things come creeping in. Worms that munch bone, known as ossidacs, settle on the frame, sucking out oily stuff stored deep within. Whole little worlds pop up around it, sticking around for years. Beyond 6,000 meters lies the Hadal zone, home to deep sea trenches. These cuts in the planet form when shifting plates push one slab of seabed under another, pulling it into extreme darkness. The Mariana Trench, the lowest spot on the planet, drops close to 11,000 meters. Put Mount Everest at that depth, yet its top would sit more than a mile beneath the waves. Down here, the weight's more than 1,000 times what you feel above. For anyone down there, it'd kill them straight away. Still, life finds a way. Down there, snailfish love delicate, jelly-like creatures that hold the record for the deepest fish known. Moving slowly, amphipods cover the seafloor in massive groups. Scientists recently spotted plastic bits in them, showing how far pollution reaches. It's a sobering reminder. The deep is not as isolated as we thought. But among all these creatures, let's take a look at the two that stand as the ultimate examples of deep-sea horror. The Magnapinna squid, also called the big fin squid, exists at the very edge of what we can explore. Let me be clear, we've never caught one alive. We've never studied a full adult. We only know they exist from grainy camera footage captured by deep-sea submersibles. And what those cameras show is genuinely unsettling. The Magnapinna doesn't swim, it drifts. Its body is small, maybe a foot long, but its arms, they stretch outward and downward in impossibly long, thin strands, sometimes exceeding 20 feet in length. These aren't the muscular tentacles of a hunting squid. They're delicate, ghostly filaments that trail beneath it like the strings of some puppet. Each arm bends at a sharp elbow joint, a feature almost no other squid possesses. Why? We don't know. It might help the squid control its net of tentacles without tangling them. Or maybe it's something else entirely. The Magnapinna hangs motionless in the water, arms spread wide, waiting. For what? We can only guess. Perhaps it's filtering for tiny prey. Perhaps it's sensing vibrations. Perhaps it's doing something we haven't even imagined yet. Its skin is colorless and translucent. In a world without light, there's no need for pigment. But that transparency makes it even more ghostly, more alien. We've only found juveniles. The adults, if they exist, at even greater depths, remain completely unknown. We don't know how big they get. We don't know how they reproduce. We don't know how long they live. The Magnapinna represents the ultimate deep-sea mystery. A creature we know exists, but cannot study, cannot understand, cannot even properly observe. It's a reminder that there are things in our ocean that exist beyond the reach of science. And honestly, that's terrifying. If the Magnapinna is unsettling because of what we don't know, the Barreleye fish is disturbing because of what we do know. This fish has a transparent head, not translucent skin, not tinted scales. A completely clear, fluid-filled dome where its skull should be. And inside that dome, two massive, tubular eyes pointing straight upward. When you first see a Barreleye, your brain struggles to process it. Those two dark spots on the front of its face, those aren't eyes, those are its nostrils. The actual eyes are inside its head, visible through the transparent dome, staring upward like biological telescopes. Why would evolution create something like this? The answer lies in a survival strategy. The Barreleye lives in the Twilight Zone, around 600 to 800 meters deep, where faint traces of sunlight still penetrate from above. Its upward-facing eyes are scanning for prey silhouetted against that dim glow. The tubular shape maximizes light collection, letting it see in near total darkness. But here's where it gets stranger. For years, scientists assumed the Barreleye could only look up. That seemed like a fatal flaw. How could it see its own mouth to eat? Then researchers discovered the fish can rotate its eyes forward inside its transparent skull. When it spots prey above, it swims upward. When it's time to eat, it rotates its eyes to look ahead at its own mouth. The clear dome holds liquid inside, shielding the fragile eyes from jellyfish tentacles that sting. These creatures' meals are sometimes snatched by the Barreleye, making them indirect targets. Here's a fix for an issue nobody saw coming. Yet it pushed evolution to try something wild, moving the eyes inward, hiding them under glassy bone that somehow lets light through. The Barreleye seems crafted by some strange mind from another world, but it's not alien at all, and it's been here, living in the dark, for millions of years. So why do creatures seem to get progressively stranger, more disturbing, the deeper we go? The answer is adaptation under extreme pressure. In the deep, there is no light, no plants, almost no food. Temperatures hover near freezing. The pressure is crushing. Every aspect of survival becomes exponentially harder. To survive evolution experiments, transparency becomes camouflage. Bioluminescence becomes a tool. Bodies stretch to impossible lengths or compress into ultra-dense forms. Eyes grow enormous to capture every photon of light, or they disappear entirely because sight becomes useless. What seems creepy to us is simply efficiency. The Magnapinna's impossibly long arms, probably designed to maximize reach while minimizing energy. The Barreleye's transparent head, the most effective way to protect sensitive eyes while maintaining vision. These animals aren't aiming to seem terrifying. Instead, they're just fighting to live in places we hardly understand. Yet they're still disturbing somehow. Even after all we know, most of the deep ocean's still a mystery. Maps of Mars cover more ground than charts of our seabed. A tiny fraction, under 5% of the deep sea has ever been seen. With each new animal found, plenty stay hidden. Every time a submarine goes down, it returns with creatures no one's ever spotted. Clear jellyfish, light-up worms, fish carrying needle-sharp teeth, squid so delicate they fall apart once lifted. We're clueless about giant deep-sea creatures. Yet we've got no real answer for why tons of animals make their own light. Also, why a few shine in shades others can't even detect. Though the Magnapinna's hunting method stays hidden, the reproduction habits of the Barreleye remain just as mysterious. Maybe worst of all, humans are messing up ocean life without really knowing how it works. Scientists spotted plastic inside tiny creatures deep in the Marianas Trench. Stuff we throw away winds up in faraway spots across the planet. The deep sea, full of mysteries. Every find brings more puzzles instead of answers. Down below, where it's pitch black, life forms no one's dreamed of move around, searching, staying alive. Some secrets, when uncovered completely, could overwhelm us. Whether we're prepared doesn't matter to the depths. It holds things way beyond our current understanding. Just sits there, silent, shadowed, waiting for the day we will finally come to understand them.